Hey, how are you guys doing? I am here fixing my driver's side window regulator on my 2002 BMW 530i, and if you have ever owned one of these vehicles for a period of time, you've probably had one of these fail. And if you're like me and enjoy the windows down when you're driving to get some fresh air and to hear that nice exhaust note, then this can be thoroughly frustrating. So I have a new one and I have my old one, and I want to dive in and show why it is that these regulators fail. Okay, so here is a new regulator, and I've already put the motor on this one from the old regulator, which is sitting here to the left. But if you're not too familiar, you've got 3 Torx bits that will hold the regulator into the door. So 1, 2, 3, and then you'll have 2 10mm bolts, 1, 2, and that's really all that keeps this thing in the door frame. So this is the top and then this is the bottom, and then you've got these cables which allow the window to go up and down as the window sits in these little guides. There's no bolt holes on the front windows, but on the rear there is a bolt that'll go through the glass, and then it'll slide it up and down. I know this because I've already done that door right there. So the first main inherent problem here on these E39 regulators stems from right here. Now, I'm not exactly sure what BMW calls this part, but it's actually comprised of 3 pieces. You have this spring that compresses everything together, and then you've got this white, almost like valve type plunger deal that slides in through this cylinder, which is underneath this spring. And over here you can see what it looks like when it fails, and then it leaves the cable that is inside of this plastic sheet. It leaves it out of tension, so it's not really holding it together, and then you'll have the spool over here, and then the motor will be on this side. So once that breaks apart, you can't push it back together. You can actually see that there are like some grooved or ribbed teeth there that help it to stick inside of this piece of plastic, and as it pops out, the window just does not work properly. It might still go up and down, but it might not go all the way. The glass may have fallen out of these little guide rails that slide up and down, so you just have all of these problems that stem from that one main issue here on these regulators. Okay, so now on to the second biggest reason as to why these regulators fail, and it's not just a BMW problem, though I have noticed it a lot reading through the forums in comparison to other vehicles, but this is an all-vehicle problem depending on the design of the regulator. Alright, now you may have guessed it, but the second failure point that I see being most common is from these plastic wheels. Now what happens is over time this plastic becomes brittle and the forces on it begin to break it down, and it will normally snap in 2 or snap in 3 pieces, and once again that cable will no longer be under tension, and you will lead to the regulator failing out and your window not being able to go up and down. Significantly, you'll see these failures occur in the winter months when it is really cold outside, and it'll cause the plastic disc here to be even more brittle than normal. Someone will go to roll their windows down, and there might be some ice on the window, causing it to work really hard to bring that window down, and it just snaps these plastic bits that are inside of the regulator. Alright, so those are the 2 problems that I have found just from a design point of view with these E39s. Again, the plastic being inside of the window regulator and there being 4 discs, so 4 failure points, is common amongst a lot of vehicles. It's not just BMWs, and it might just be because I'm looking specifically at BMW vehicles that I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about it. But without a doubt, that spring unloading and no longer being compressed is a huge problem on these window regulators, and they fail all of the time. I'm reading through, it seems as if there's a pretty general consensus that that is is the main issue that causes these regulators to fail. If you have gone through this process and you've seen something else fail on your window regulator, let me know down below. I'd be very curious to see what other problems people have had on these BMWs. Hopefully I don't run into them, but it would just be interesting to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.